So we've got our GMC Arcadia that we're doing a leak down test on. As you can see right here, we've got about 70 PSI going into the cylinder, and obviously we've got a leak down of roughly, gauge is right around 65 PSI, so roughly around 4%. So this cylinder is good. Okay, so we're on another cylinder right now, and if you look at this is one of the cylinders that actually had a broken bearing cap on it, and it's showing. I mean, the cylinders are pretty much, you know, the pressure going into the cylinder right here is 70 PSI, and it's holding right at 70 PSI. So, I mean, there's virtually no cylinder, there's no leakage on that, because this was one that had a broken bearing cap, and I believe this was the broken bearing cap that actually came off this rear cylinder here. So, we're on the rear middle cylinder on this GMC Arcadia. As you can see, I've got about 70 PSI going into it. We've only got 50 PSI holding in the cylinder, and you can hear the air rushing out of the cylinder. So what does that tell you? Obviously this middle cylinder here has definitely got a bent valve. The other two cylinders on the rear are perfect, or close to perfect. And the one that had the broken bearing cap here, so let's go ahead and do the front real quick. Okay, so I'm on the front cylinder, and as you can see, we've got about 68 PSI going into the cylinder, and obviously you can see that that's only holding roughly, what, 45 PSI. And this is one that had one of the broken bearing caps on this cylinder here. So as you can hear the air escaping out of it. Okay, so I'm on the front middle cylinder here. As you can see, we've got 70 PSI going into the cylinder, and obviously we've got 35 PSI holding in the cylinder, so we've got serious leak down on that middle cylinder here. Okay, so I'm doing the leak down test on our last cylinder here. It's going to be the front right cylinder. As you can see, we've got 70 PSI going into the cylinder, and the cylinder is roughly holding, what, 55 PSI. So we've got a leak down of roughly 15%. So that would indicate that this cylinder probably has a bent valve. So at this point in time, we've got bent valve on this cylinder, pretty much on all the front cylinders, and on the rear cylinder here. So basically this engine here is going to need at minimum 2 heads, or it's going to need a complete valve job done on all these cylinders. So at this point in time, it would be more cost effective for the owner just to go ahead and replace the engine, and that's what my finding would be on this engine here.